Alright, this is a part 2 video. So I did show you these DVDs. If you want to, last time on part 1 I did those. So I'm going to do this on part 2. Because I was going to say I have to do a 2-part video because the camera I was recording couldn't record like longer. So yeah. I was recording in 720p so you could see it better than 360 quality. So yeah. Alright. Let's continue. They're not going to be much. There's just not going to be very long video in part 2 because this will probably be shorter than part 2 video will probably be shorter than part 1. So yeah. So where we're at right now, here's the last Thomas Homemade DVD I want to show you. The only Thomas Homemade DVD I'll show you for this update video. This is Thomas Gets Tricked and Other Stories. This is actually a George Carlin US version. It's actually a Netflix George Carlin Netflix version of George Carlin, which does have the it's kind of a little fully restored. It's kind of like a remastered super high quality version, but not completely fully restored. So yeah, finally have this US version of Thomas Gets Tricked. It does, except it does not have "Come for a Ride" song at all. So yeah. This is the US version. I pretend this was a 2007 DVD, but the US version, but this is actually a custom DVD, yeah. This is I know regularly on a DVD release on regular DVDs of Thomas Gets Tricked, it was actually the Ringo Starr instead of George Carlin. The US version of Ringo Starr when he said Sir Topham Hatt. But in the UK version, they said Fat Controller. They usually call him the Fat Controller in UK, but yeah. Well, I remember they had Thomas Gets Tricked on the early years, and the US version of Thomas Gets Tricked episode on a regular DVD release, which is Towering Adventures. In the early years, anyways, yep, I finally have this Homemade Thomas and Friends custom DVD. This time, this is a US version of Thomas Gets Tricked, and I remember they had the US version of Thomas Gets Tricked the first episode on the regular DVD, which is Howling Adventures, and on the 2007 regular DVD, which is the US version of Ringo Starr, and the UK version of Thomas Gets Tricked, the original version, which is actually the early years. So yeah. So that's the Thomas DVDs. So now I have 2 more left. We're probably almost done. Here's the Gabby's Dollhouse, the complete first season. This time it has all 10 episodes on one DVD. Yep. I might have to cross this off right here, but because I did wrote all 10 episodes on one DVD twice. I think I should, yeah. And it does say widescreen, but it is kind of widescreen, but it's actually recorded off from TV from Nick Jr. channel. That was in 4:3. This is a Nick Jr. version, and yes, it's a good thing there aren't any mistakes this time, without showing any commercial breaks during that at all whatsoever. I'm glad I didn't miss anything on all 10 episodes. Well, yeah, but it does have some tiny bit of a black screen before when it skips to commercials. So yeah. Yep, has all 10 episodes on one DVD. I had to use LP speed on that on my DVD recorder, but this is actually a burned copy because the copy that were recorded from the DVD recorder was actually, I used a DVD Monitor W, and it will work on any DVDs. Yep. And yep, it does have a Baby Shark's Big Show Law of the Claw short at the end after the 10 episodes. So yeah, finally have it. I did finally burn the disc, and yep, it worked pretty good. Thanks for me having the power to go Cyberlink. Thank goodness I have Cyberlink Power to Go again. This time is kind of wouldn't be the same like I used to have, but yeah. A homemade DVD. Yep. That's this one. And finally, this is Carlita's Bumperific Moments. It only has 5 episodes. I just found this on Internet Archive, which is Carlita's Bumperific Moments, which is a custom DVD. And speaking of that, I did finally have this real DVD. I maybe someday I have to see if I could try to have Internet Archive and see if I could try to upload ISO DVDs, but this won't be easy for me because it takes too long takes forever to do all kinds of stuff by myself. Yeah, so that's this. Here's what I did on part 1. I did here's the best of Bill and Ben, best of Duncan, Thomas's Train Yard Tracks, Roundhouse Rhythms. I might have to upload those videos to YouTube. Well, if that one got blocked, I'll have to skip the full episodes, but only if it get blocked. But only the episodes will get blocked only. Because sing-along songs don't get blocked. Best of Duck. Best of Edward. If I was going to upload the custom DVDs, I have to do the part videos. So yeah. But it will take a very long time. Best of Toby, custom DVD. Best of Henry. And I never had a DVD release that only had a VHS tape only, which I made recently. Better late than never. Thomas Breaks the Rules. Tenders and Turntables and other stories. Another copy of Tenders and Turntables. Spick and Span, the take-along DVD. Emily Adventures, take-along sampler DVD. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Frosty the Snowman. And Frosty Returns, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and The Little Drummer Boy. That's what I did. That's what I said about the names. What I did on part 1. So yeah, on my homemade DVD update. There you have it. That was a homemade DVD update. That was kind of a big homemade DVD update. I remember I also did the homemade VHS as well, but I probably won't show it because I haven't finished my homemade sticker labels yet. So I will do it soon though. So yeah, thanks for watching.